guess it wasn't us. Yeah, still could have been better if we were able to pull it off. So, last night was pretty bad. Cecily went home. I guess we tried to warn her that this was just a terrible idea. We voted with her to take out Ty, though. We just convinced her to try and keep the vote on Ty anyway, just in case if, Scarlet was going to be unpredictable enough to flip. Unfortunately, it didn't work out that way, and now me and Frank are on the bottom. That said, I don't think we're in the worst spot, because I think Scarlet does want to keep us in the game, for now at least. I just still don't understand why we voted with Cecily anyway if she was just going home. Because there was a possibility Scarlet could have flipped. Well, she didn't, and that just shows you that she's just sticking with that side. Well, not necessarily. She was considering voting off Ty, but, Cecily butchered the entire plan. Yeah. So what, you just gotta hope that she's with us and she can get the numbers to stay with us? Pretty much. I'm absolutely not thrilled at all to be on the bottom. We had a chance at making something big happen last night, but Cecily completely ruined it, and we're on the bottom now. Yeah. I don't know what I'd do right now. Luke says we can possibly get Scarlet with us, but I doubt that that's gonna happen, because sure, maybe, yeah, she did consider it, but, this is the same girl who, was down to work with me, Luke, and Moose, and ultimately double-crossed us and voted off Moose at the very first tribal council. So, yeah, I don't think we should count on our luck to, hope that happens. Well, that was certainly close. Yeah, too close for comfort. Yeah, no kidding, I almost went out. Yeah, well, you didn't, so, yeah, you're welcome. I was petrified. I almost went home last night, and I was shocked about that. I was shocked that outside group wanted to take me out, but luckily my allies had my back, and if we lose, then it should be hopefully a pretty straightforward vote on either Frank or Luke. So I'm guessing if we lose again, it's gotta obviously be either Luke or Frank, right? Yeah, we obviously don't want to take those two to the merge, since they'll be dangerous. Yeah, I don't really care who it is, as long as it's just one of those two, I don't really care. I almost voted for Ty last night. However, I just decided to vote off Cecily because she was just coming after me. Like, what do you want me to do? Just keep someone who's blatantly gonna try and get me out of the game? Heck no. So I just decided to keep Ty for now and just get rid of Cecily. However, if we do lose again, Ty's under the impression that it's gonna be either Frank or Luke. But frankly, I don't think it's gonna be either of those two. Hey girls. Oh, what is it, Scarlet? I wanted to ask you two on how you feel about Ty right now. Right now, I'm feeling a bit better about him than a few days ago, I had a bit of lack of trust in him. Yeah, but he voted with us twice, so I feel like we can possibly trust him. Yeah, I was thinking, the next vote, I don't think it should be Frank. Oh, so you want it to be Luke? No, I don't want it to be Luke either. So, what? You want it to be Ty next? Yeah. But why? He's with us. I mean, I don't get why we should want to take him out right now. Well, we don't have to take him out right now, but if we lose again, we have to take him out over Frank or Luke. But why? Frank and Luke seem way more dangerous than Ty. That is true, but the thing that they have going against Ty is that they are just kind of, two people who we can take out really whenever we want during the merge. I mean, I'm not really too entirely worried about them. Okay, Luke maybe, more so than Frank, because Luke seems a lot more physical than Frank, but I feel like we need to vote off Ty first, but if a case where we do lose again after Ty goes, then we would have to take out Luke. So, Scarlet pulls me and Winter aside and is all like, okay, now is the time to get rid of Ty. And I mean, I get why she wants to do it, and I mean, I'm not gonna be against her on this. I mean, I've had my doubts about Ty, but he did vote with us twice, and he does trust us. It just seems kind of, I don't know, out of the blue that she wants to take him out right now when she could have had an opportunity to last vote. It's like, you know, you want to take him out now, then why didn't you take him out last round if you had your suspicions about him? I'm getting a real strange feeling about Scarlet. Oh, really? Yeah, I mean, you know, she was given an opportunity to vote Ty out last round, and now she's all like, oh, I want to get rid of Ty now. And it's like, why didn't you get rid of him last round if you just want to get rid of him now? Maybe she just wanted to get rid of Cecily more? Maybe, but, I mean, I'm having doubts now. Well, 'cause here's the thing. I still want to continue working with her. She's still kind of, you know, the one in control of our alliance, yes. But she's the one calling the shots, and she'll be the one taking most of the heat. I guess, but, I mean, there's just so much you can take to the point where you can't just sit by and let the game go by. You know, you gotta make something happen. You can't just sit in one alliance. Yeah, well, and that's why she's willing to take out Ty to prove she isn't in one alliance. Well, she's still working with us, right? And is sketchy of Scarlet, and I mean, I don't blame her. You know, Scarlet's not really the nicest person ever. And do I like her? No. But do I want to work with her? Of course. Because, I mean, if she's taking all this heat, then, well, obviously that's no heat on me. I know I'm kind of repeating myself, but I mean, I don't really know what else to really argue else other than that she's just a bigger threat than us, and working with her might be a good way for us to be defended later down the line. So, Anne's, however, getting second thoughts about Scarlet, and that's not really good long-term for me. Hey guys. Hey Scarlet. You guys aren't mad really about what happened, right? I mean, no, not really. I mean, we understand why you did it, and, well, I mean, Cecily had it coming to her. I mean, she wanted to get rid of you, and I guess we understand why you did it. Yeah, it wasn't like I wasn't against doing Ty. In fact, I actually really liked the idea, but when she started coming after me, I just couldn't take the offer. Fair enough. So are we gonna be like, what, the next ones to go? I don't think so. I mean, I would much rather get rid of Ty. I mean, frankly, he's just not really someone who benefits me at all. And, I mean, he's just kind of someone who's gonna be probably dangerous later down the line. I mean, he's controlled his threat level up until last night. And, I mean, I don't think Winter or Anne would be against voting him off. Alright then, great. Well, this does give us reassurance. Yeah, it does. I am definitely grateful that, you know, Scarlet is at least willing to spare me and Frank for now. But after Ty's gone, I don't think she'll be willing to spare us again. But you never know. Maybe there could be a crack me and Frank could form in that alliance after Ty goes, but we'll cross that bridge when the time comes. Really? Malibu? Yeah, it's a pretty beautiful place, you know? I mean, I kind of grew up in, you know, Burbank, but I was more in Malibu when I turned 16. And it was pretty awesome, you know? Yeah, must be pretty awesome. Oh, what's up? Nothing. It's just that, you know, I'm not really much of someone who goes to parties, you know. Just, you know, I have to work day and night, you know. Being a chef in very busy, hot kitchens is just, it's kind of stressful and doesn't really leave me really with any real, like, time for myself to really enjoy. Huh, is that why you came out here? No, it was also because, you know, pizza shop, you know, was, you know, it was shut down, but hopefully it gets reopened soon. I don't know, something went down. I don't know what happened. I've been working really hard to build my social game right now, and I've been doing so through Brett, because Brett, someone who obviously I want to keep getting closer to, because, he's good with Heather, and I'm in goods with Heather, so it just kind of feels pretty straightforward that, we work together and get closer, because, if we're in a group with Heather and she's kind of keeping us together, it makes sense to, have one-on-one interactions with each other, even though we are clearly two completely different individuals who come from completely different walks of life. It's just kind of hurting my head. What? Your outside life? Not really, it's more of what's going on in the game. Huh, what? It's just Eliza, she's just kind of, she's so eccentric to just make so many plays, and she's just always quick to judge people. Really. Yeah, she's all like, oh, Brett looks like a womanizer. He's just kind of like this pretty boy who's trying to also act like Brody or Hugh or something. And it's just, like, you didn't speak one word to him yet, and I'm just sitting here being like, what the heck is even going on anymore? Huh. As the days go by, I realize that interacting with Jacqueline was definitely the right call. She's sweet, she's, willing to hear people out, even though we come from completely different lives, hers is kind of very busy and all work, no play, while mine is more, outgoing, sort of, fun and just, not really any work and complete all play, but, she brought up, Eliza, who's targeting me, and that's totally fine, because, well, we can just take her out. I have no real connection with her at all. We didn't speak one bit, yet she's making judgments of me. Like, why bother interacting with someone like that? So how are you guys feeling after, the challenge? We're feeling good, it's just that, it felt like that challenge felt a bit more luck-based than anything. How so? Well, I don't know. A lot of us did fairly well considering the odds. It just kind of felt like all it just had to do was just really balance and make sure you had the endurance and the sheer willpower to stay on that platform as the balls came at you. Yeah. The days keep going by, and obviously it's still getting a little boring, not going back to Tribal, but it's whatever, I guess. Obviously, I'm still in a good spot, I think. I think I'm in goods with Jacqueline and Heather, and I'm in goods with the older people, and hopefully, if we do lose, Brett will be gone next. That being said, something I could need, moving forward, is the idol. So, I feel like maybe it's best for me to, go out and look for the idol, or maybe ask the group of older players if they know anything about the idol. So, when you guys think idols, what comes to your mind? I mean, obviously power, when you have the idol, it's a whole lot of power in your hands, it's obviously a lot. Yeah. Do you think someone could have it by now? I mean, maybe, but maybe not. It could still be out there. It could very likely still be out there. I mean, we don't know that. Yeah. I kind of figured the idol might have been coming up in discussions. So in the meantime, I just gotta play it chill as a cucumber. I gotta just make sure I don't end up, losing my cool, and just stay out of suspicion and just stay out of people's eyes, because I don't feel like I'm getting targeted anytime soon as far as I'm concerned, because as I said, I'm in a fantastic spot and nobody notices it yet. So, what do you think of Eliza? What do you mean? Well, I mean, are you fine with her plan of getting rid of Brett? I mean, I'm not against it. The thing is, Brett is definitely the biggest threat on the tribe. The one thing we gotta factor is it too early to just get rid of him? Because, I mean, if we do go down a different route, say we do maybe Eliza, but then we'll be, like, split. Yeah, that's what I've been thinking. It's like, I don't feel like it's really a smart idea to really go to a split vote. It might be smarter for us to get rid of Brett now, and then take out either Jacqueline or Heather. I mean, maybe, but, I mean, at the same time, I don't really want to really anger Heather. And why is that? Well, I mean, I'm still in good with her, and I feel like we can use her for later on. So, what do you think? Well, here's the thing. I'm in goods with her, and I feel like if we just get rid of Eliza, maybe if I just get in her head enough, I feel like maybe we can get her to vote off Brett. Because from what I've been seeing, Brett and Jacqueline are getting very close, and I feel like Heather is the thing keeping those two together. Huh. I threw the idea of how Connor feels about Eliza's plan, and he's not against it, but he's not entirely opposed to making something happen against Eliza. And I've been thinking carefully about this, and Connor himself is kind of in a really good spot when you think about it. I mean, he's in goods with Heather, who has Jacqueline and Brett. He's in goods with me, Charlotte, and Eliza. He's practically in one of the better spots on our tribe. I mean, I'm not saying I'm scared of him, but, you know, him being a threat in my eyes, looking at it socially, is definitely coming into fold. Charlotte, can we talk? Yeah, sure. What is it, Walter? I kind of want us to be aware that Connor could be dangerous moving forward. How's that? Well, think about it. Are we in goods with him? Yeah. Is Eliza in goods with him? I think. And he claims he's in goods with Heather, who is in goods with Jacqueline and Brett. Oh, so you feel like he's playing dominantly socially? Exactly. Huh. Well, I don't feel like we need to worry about him now. I mean, maybe later, maybe during the merge, then we'll have to definitely make our strike, but as of right now, Connor is with us. Yeah, I get it. Maybe that's me getting paranoid, but I still think we should definitely keep an eye on him, because he could be dangerous later on. Walter's getting worried about Connor, and that kind of surprises me. But the thing is, we can't vote him off just yet, because, yes, he's a threat, but another thing is he's willing to work with us. So, I don't feel like it's right for us to get rid of him now. Now, later on, that's a different story. Obviously, we'll have to consider voting him off, therefore. But as of right now, I think it's a no-go for me. Hey, you two, you feeling good? Yeah, we're doing great. Yeah. Alright, good. Because I feel like the other side might be making a pact, and we have to be aware of this. Huh, so are they getting, like, Eliza, and she's kind of being like, oh, we should take out Brett? Oh, that's why you warned me about her. Yeah, she's targeting you, and she's probably getting the older people on board. Damn. Yeah, well, here's the thing. I'm in goods with Connor, so hopefully he's with us, and maybe through his influence, he can possibly get Charlotte and Walter to make it unanimous. So, hopefully, if we do lose, we'll have another easy vote. Yeah, hopefully. I took a step back and tried to observe my position right now. I feel like I am in the best position out of anyone here. I have connections with my group and Jacqueline and Brett, and through my connection with Connor, I also have some, say over some of the older players. Because since I got Connor with me, I don't feel like they would be against entirely with what Connor wants. And through me, I feel like that wouldn't detract them from wanting to do something against what I want, but whatever. Point is, I'm in goods with everybody except for Eliza, but I don't really need to because she's going to be the next one to go. So if we do lose, she better say every prayer she can possibly think of because she's not really going to be staying around for another 3 days as far as I'm concerned, because you target my allies, then, well, I'm just going to put you out of the game. Putting you out to pasture is what I always say. Welcome to today's immunity challenge. First things first, Kalgin getting a new look at the new Ushigot tribe. Cecily voted out the last tribal council. Anyways, let's get to today's challenge. For your challenge, you will split your teams amongst yourselves into groups of 3, 2, and 1 person. The group of 3 will swim out into the water, retrieving pieces. Once all have been collected, the 2 players will get the pieces over and down the ramp. Once that is all done, the 1 player will then organize the pieces into a shape like this, finally placing the fire pit on top of the formation and then lighting the fire. The first team who has their fire lit at the end wins immunity and will be safe from the vote. And then losers tribal council and someone will be the 4th person voted out after 12 days. Seems simple? Alright, let's get started. Colleen, you have 1 extra member. You're going to need to sit somebody out. Alright, swimming for Colleen will be Jacqueline, Brett, and Heather. And for Ushiga, it will be Luke, Scarlett, and Frank. Getting the pieces over and down the ramp for Colleen will be Connor and Eliza. And for Ushiga, it will be Ty and Winter. Finally, organizing and lighting the fire for the puzzle for Colleen will be Walter with Charlotte sitting out. And for Ushiga, it will be Anne. With that all said, survivors ready, go. This challenge is underway. Jacqueline and Frank going out to get their pieces respectively for their teams. Both of them are swimming out. Remember, the pieces are underwater, so you have to go under and then unlock the locks to retrieve the pieces. Both of them are under. Who will come out first? Frank is up. He's heading back with his piece. Meanwhile, Jacqueline's still not back up yet. Frank is almost done. Meanwhile, Jacqueline's finally out from under the water and she's got the piece. She's heading back. Jacqueline trying to make up for a lead as she ended up behind Frank. Speaking of Frank, he ends up retrieving the first piece. The next person on Ushiga can go. Jacqueline's almost out of the water and up with her piece. Meanwhile, Luke is dashing towards the ocean. Jacqueline is back with the piece, and immediately Brett is just moving towards the ocean. Meanwhile, Luke enters the ocean ready to get the piece. Brett is swimming out quickly. Meanwhile, Luke goes under. Both men are now under the water. It's a pretty close battle. Both of them are up with their piece. They're both swimming back. I think Luke has a slight lead over Brett, having had the lead since the beginning of the challenge. But it looks like Brett has overtaken Luke's lead. But they are still neck and neck, so it's not that far apart in terms of a race. Brett brings Colgeen's piece back. Luke brings Ushigat's piece back. Meaning Heather for Colleen and Scarlett for Ushiga can now head out for the last piece. Heather's quickly moving. Scarlett was a little slower to get into the water, so looks like Heather has overtaken her lead. And now Colleen officially take the lead, with Heather getting ahead of Scarlett. Scarlett ready to head under. Meanwhile, Heather is already ahead of her. Both are under. Heather is up and quickly swimming back, but Scarlett's nowhere to be found. Scarlett is now up, but she has to pick up the pace if she wants to get back in this race. Heather brings the last piece back for Colleen, but Scarlett isn't that far behind as she is almost back. Scarlett is back with the last piece. They can start, but it looks like Connor and Eliza have begun. Do you have it? I need to get a bit closer. Can you, lift it up a little bit more? Alright, I can try. Alright, Winter, I want you to hear me out. Alright, what is it, Ty? Alright, I want you to use all your strength possible and throw your piece up to me. Really? Yeah, I can catch it. Are you sure? Yeah, I feel like we can do this quicker if we do it this way. Do you got it now? Yeah, I got it. Looks like Eliza has the first block. Meanwhile, Winter throws her block right up to Tai, and he gets it. Both tribes are neck and neck. Both Eliza and Tai get their pieces down. Meanwhile, Connor and Winter are getting the next block. Ushagat might have the advantage as, unlike Kalgin, they organize their blocks right by the ramp. So this could give them the advantage. Alright, Connor, I want you to throw the piece up to me. But I can't throw. Yeah, well, we got to do this or we're not gonna have a chance at getting ahead of the challenge. Are you sure you can catch? Yes, I'm positive. Alright, pass the piece up to me. Actually, you can stop doing the challenge after this piece is done. I'll just carry the last piece over. You sure? Yeah, I think I can do it. Tai and Winter get the second piece over. Meanwhile, for Kalgin, oh, they dropped the block. Looks like Connor tried to pass it to Eliza and she couldn't get it. Alright, forget it. Just go back to the strategy we were doing. Probably would have been a better idea to do that instead of just having me throw it up to you and waste time. Kalgin seemed to be bickering. Meanwhile, it looks like for Ushagat, Tai slid down his ramp to get the last piece. Do you got it? Yeah, I got it. I won't drop it. Kalgin trying to make progress on the second piece. Meanwhile, it looks like Tai is getting the third piece all by himself. Kalgin bring down their second piece. They need one more. But Tai almost has his last piece across. He just needs to get over his ramp and then slide it down. Eliza and Connor are quickly trying to get their third piece. Ooh, but Eliza loses her balance and knocks over Connor and the piece. This is looking bad for Kalgin, but it's looking good for Ushagat. Tai brings up the last piece on top of the ramp. He needs to just slide it down. And he does. Now Anne can start working on the puzzle. You doing okay, Connor? Yeah, I'm fine. Just hurry up. Alright, well, I almost got it over. Looks like Kalgin is adapting a new strategy, but they gotta move as Ushagat has the lead over them. Anne is meanwhile getting the formation finished, and then when she does, she can light the fire for the fire pit. Kalgin get their last piece over. Walter can now start. Walter is frantically moving, trying to get his puzzle done. Meanwhile, Anne has it all done. She now needs to place the fire pit and light the fire. Walter trying to slide his last piece in before putting on the fire pit. But it looks like Anne has the fire pit now. She needs to light the fire. Walter has the formation done. Now he can get the fire pit. But Anne still doesn't seem to have a fire going. Walter has his fire pit on. This could be close. Jeff! Ooh, never mind! Looks like Anne had a flame meanwhile while he was getting the fire pit on. Which means Ushagat wins immunity. Safe from the vote. It was definitely a close challenge, but Ushagat, congratulations, you've come out victorious. No one going home from your tribe. Kalgin, can't say the same for you. You guys will lose your second member. Someone will be the fourth person voted out of this game after 12 days. Won't be anyone from Ushagat. Anyways, got nothing else for you guys. Grab your stuff and head back to camp. I'll see you guys tonight. I think I played out that challenge very well. I told Winter to throw the piece up to me first, then just lift the second piece up to me, and then I told her just not do the third piece and just let me do it. I feel like it all worked out in the end, as we had the lead as we changed up strategies to get the pieces over. The other tribe tried the same strategy and, well, tried to adjust when it was just too late. I know it should be partially my fault that we lost, but it wasn't entirely my fault. Like, we didn't have the best tribe overall in terms of equal distribution across each stage. The other tribe did, and that's why we lost. So, I'm just not thrilled. I'm just bothered that I put the entire tribe completely out of the competition. Yeah, well, it wasn't just you. What was that supposed to mean? Well, okay, come on. You had some ounce of responsibility in that challenge. Okay, fine, yes, I did. But it's like, I don't feel like we should just go home because of that. No, I'm not saying that. So what? Are we still good to do Brett? Of course. Yeah, sure. Hopefully with this newly made group I have, I can pull off this move on Brett, and hopefully he goes out. Get rid of the biggest threat on our team. I know we'll weaken our tribe even more so, but I feel like it'll all be worth it in the end. I am kind of worried though. I went out looking for the idol, I had no luck, so that does make me concerned if the other side does have the idol. So, you two know the plan? Of course. Duh. Alright, so, set. So, we just gotta get Connor on our side, and hopefully we can send Eliza out. Yeah, either way, even if she was coming after me or not, she did awful in today's challenge. I mean, I don't know about that. I mean, Connor also screwed up. Yeah, maybe he did, maybe he didn't, but it doesn't matter whose fault it was in that challenge. We planned to do Eliza anyway, so yeah. All today's challenge does is prove that she does just need to go right now. She's just the weakest overall. Everyone gave it their best shot in that challenge, but either way, I feel like it still should be Eliza, because I feel like even with the older people, she's most likely the weakest member on our tribe. I feel like with Connor, Walter, and Charlotte, we might have a solid team in terms of, like, maybe a strategy challenge. Maybe if it's like a puzzle, I feel like those three can excel pretty good at that kind of thing. But with Eliza, she's not good physically, and she's not the best strategically, so I feel like we just need to send her out tonight. So hopefully Connor's with me, and we can just send her out easily, and if he's got Walter and Charlotte who are also down to do Eliza, then, well, Eliza's days in this game are completely gonna be kaput after tonight. The more you think about it, do you feel like that Heather is just kind of embracing her big threat nature and just going, full steam ahead? I mean, yeah, I see that. Why? You kind of worried about it? A little bit, I understand why she's playing strategic and it makes sense, but, like, I feel like maybe Zane... Don't get mad at me when I say this, but I think maybe Zane was onto something, because Heather is honestly kind of scaring me. She's overly strategic. She, is in goods with a lot of people. She's got a really solid game right now, and she's in a really solid spot. So what, you want to turn on her? No, not now, obviously. That'd be dumb if we did, but obviously later down the line, we can't, go near the end with her. Like, that's no bueno. I only want to continue working with Heather as a shield. Right now, I feel like she's one of the biggest threats here. She's really good in challenges, she's strategic, and she puts herself out there as a huge threat, unlike anybody else here. So, I just gotta kind of use her as a shield, especially since I'm going to need one, especially during the merge. I was definitely taken aback by what Brett said. He's all like, oh, we need to get rid of Heather sooner rather than later, because, maybe during the merge, because, well, she might be a threat later down the line, and, well, I do see that. I mean, I like her, Brett likes her, Connor likes her. I mean, really a lot of people here like her. So, yeah, he's honestly onto something, because, Heather is just kind of in a really good spot, but I don't really want to get rid of her yet, because I kind of want to continue working with her, because it's Heather Whiteport for one, but also, yeah, I kind of see where Brett is coming from in terms of her posing as a threat. Hey, you three. Oh, hey, Heather. What's up? Say, out of curiosity, where did Eliza go? No clue. She went out in the jungle. Probably look for an idol. I don't know. Okay, never mind that. Point is, I was going to initially talk to just you, Connor, initially, but I feel like it's best for all three of you to know that me, Brett, and Jacqueline are going to be voting for Eliza tonight. Yeah, we kind of figured. Alright, so I want to see if you three were down to make a unanimous vote. We're not against it. Yeah, we're good on it. Sure. Alright, great. So by the looks of it, I think we are the swing votes tonight. Yeah, that's great. So what do you guys think? Personally, I'm gonna have to say I'm leaning more towards doing Brett. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I don't know. I'd much rather do Eliza. Why? Because here's the thing. With Brett, I feel like we can use him as a shield. With Eliza, if we just vote off Brett now, we'll guarantee lose a bunch more challenges. And yeah, we'll have majority alliance, but I don't feel like that'll be worth it just to keep Eliza in. Whereas with Brett, we can get rid of him if we do lose the last challenge. That is if we do lose the last challenge. We might. I mean, unless if the other tribe ends up voting off, like, one of the two military guys, I don't really see that being a possibility of us losing in that sense. So, like, then why not get rid of Brett? Because I'd much rather keep him as a shield. Eliza isn't a shield. She has no real point. By the looks of it, me, Walter, and Connor are the swing votes, but it seems to be a power struggle between Connor and Walter on what the vote's gonna be. Walter wants it to be Brett, but Connor's leaning more towards Eliza. Honestly, I'm fine with either. I just don't want the alliance to end up not voting together. Like, I don't want just Walter to be the only one in this group to end up voting for Brett, but I also don't want Connor to end up being the only one that votes Eliza. But if he ends up doing Eliza, then, well, he ends up voting with the majority anyway, and Eliza would still go out. So, if we all just don't vote Eliza, then, well, Brett does go out. But at the same time, I don't really see any reason to really keep Eliza other than, you know, having a solid group of 4, but, you know, I don't really want to keep losing challenges. Law's writing on this vote. Whatever we decide basically determines the fate for the rest of the game. Yeah, that's true. Welcome, Kalgeen, to another tribal council. So, Walter, you guys lost yet again. How are you feeling? Well, it obviously sucks, Jeff, but in hindsight is 2020, and it's the fact that, well, Ushagot lost twice and lost 2 members, and, well, we're about to do the same thing. So, Heather, do you sense a pattern? Yeah, we sometimes can win, we sometimes can lose, and in all honesty, it seems like these teams seem evenly split in terms of challenge wins, which is kind of surprising to me, since when you do look at it, in hindsight, we probably would look like the weaker tribe. So when you hear that, Connor, how are you feeling? Because there's a possibility there's people who could be isolated in the tribe based on challenge strength. Yeah, and I feel like I could be one of those people, and that challenge definitely proved. Eliza, you are also part of the struggling during the challenge. Are you also worried? Everyone should be worried. It's tribal council, so anything could happen. Alright, with that out of the way, it's time to vote. Brett, you'll start us off. I don't know what I did, because I sure as hell didn't say anything that would cause you to have this much of a problem with me. Brett, I'm voting you out tonight because, well, I just don't like you. I'll go tally the votes. Alright, if anybody has a hidden immunity idol and you want to play it, now is the time to do so. No? Alright, I'll read the votes. First vote, Eliza. Next vote, Brett. That's 1 vote Eliza, 1 vote Brett. Third vote, Eliza. That's 2 votes Eliza, 1 vote Brett. Eliza. That's 3 votes Eliza, 1 vote Brett. Fifth vote. And the 4th person voted out of Rise of Resurrection. Eliza. Eliza, that's 4 votes, that's enough. No need to read the last 2 votes. Need to bring me your torch. Eliza, the tribe has spoken. It's time for you to go. Well, Kalgeen, You went to 2 tribals, and both votes seemed unanimous. How will this continue for the tribe moving forward? Guess we'll find out. Anyways, got nothing else for you guys. Grab your stuff and head back to camp. Good night. I'm not entirely thrilled. Definitely not thrilled to go out unanimously like that. It's a tough pill to swallow. Definitely no one wants to leave unanimously. But in the end, I got eliminated. I guess people just didn't want to take my offer of getting rid of Brett, and I just couldn't make enough social connections to stay alive. It's unfortunate to go out, but at least I do have an opportunity to come back, so I hope I do, and I hope I can get back these people, because I think that they made a mistake keeping Brett.